Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. My name is Dogbite and today I'm coming at you with something a little bit different. In fact, the fact that I'm coming to you today is a little bit different. I'm uploading this either Sunday night or or Monday it's going to come out. It'll probably come out just whenever I'm done with it. This isn't something that's going to be part of my regular programming or anything like that. And usually for videos like this I would upload them on a Wednesday. However, this is kind of important and it's kind of going on right now, so I figured that it's best to just get this out as it's done. Before we do get into it, yes, I have short hair now, in case anyone was wondering. For the next few videos, I've still got long hair in gaming, so if you miss it, don't worry, there's still going to be more videos coming out with me having my longer hair. Anyway, in this video, I am going to be going over my experience with Bambu Labs. Bambu Labs is a company that makes 3D printers, and a company that I have bought recently a 3D printer from. Later on, I will be talking about the recent controversy with Bambu Labs and what they're currently doing and the changes that they're making, and how that can be bad for users. But before that, I'll put a timestamp down. You can skip to that if you really want to. But before that, I'm just going to go through my personal experience with Bambu Labs so far, and just sort of because I was going to make this video anyway, and with what is going on recently, it's the right time to sort of bring it up. So I'll start off with why I wanted a 3D printer. Or why I decided to order from Bambu Labs in particular. I wanted a 3D printer just because it's something that I think would be fun to get into, and it's something where I've had experience doing 3D printing before, and this was another video that I was making about something I've been designing for 3D printing. But when I was in sixth form, I mentioned this in the video. When I was in sixth form, I made this, which is just a little Assassin's Creed logo. It's not the only thing I made, and I'm not saying that look at this fucking thing and despair, but I'm saying I have experience with it and I wanted to do it again. This had nothing to do with the project I was making, so I have no idea why they let me print it, because it was the school's 3D printer, but it's got little details on the front and stuff like that. You can see the infill through it because it's quite translucent filament, but if I hold it at an angle you can see, and I coloured the sides in with pen just to sort of make it pop a little bit. I couldn't quite reach the insides, so eventually I'll probably finish that, right? Yeah, that's right. But to get on specifically to why I wanted to do it, I wanted to because it's something that I can do, which becomes it's really hard to explain this. It's the same as when I do things where I build with wood or something like that. I built a table recently specifically for the 3D printer that I ordered, actually. In fact, you might notice that my shelves are no longer here. My shelves are actually here now. And it's because in here I needed space for the 3D printer I ordered. And in order to do that, I built a table to put it on. Which now, I don't know if you heard that, but that sits down there. With the idea of having the printer sit here, and then I can be at my PC and use it. Anyway, it's like a creative outlet, basically, for me. And, when I get into new hobbies, in more terms of why I bought what I bought, when I get into new hobbies, I tend to, I don't go all into the high end. If it's cheap enough, then yeah, I might. But, I don't go all into the high end straight away because it's a new hobby and I might not even like it. And same as with airsoft, I've never bought a super high-end rifle or anything like that, but obviously I spent a couple of £100 or a few £100 on my current rifle and stuff, which currently doesn't work, and I do need to get it fixed. Anyway, I also don't go for the super low-end stuff because that's more likely to break, it's less reliable, and it's not something that I want to deal with, I would rather go for the middle point, because when you're starting a new hobby, you don't want the hassle of fucking around with everything all the time, and you don't want to like overspend on something that you're not entirely sure about. Even though I'm spending a little bit more, I don't mind because I have a job and I save my money. I save up a lot of money, and this cost a lot of money. Trust me, we'll get into that. But like, I don't spend too much on the high end stuff that I might not even like, and I don't have to deal with crappy stuff that doesn't really work and puts me off of a new hobby. So I just think that middle point is the best thing for me to do personally. It might not work the same way for everybody. Maybe people like going in at the low end so they can learn more about like how things work and how they break as well, and how to fix them. Maybe people just want to go in at super high end and don't care about the money and they just want to have the best flashy thing, whatever. I wanted something that was going to last. I wanted something that was reliable. I wanted something that just was going to work out the box. You know, I like something that people had said they didn't have any issues with at all. And don't get me wrong, I didn't just instantly buy the first thing that someone said like, oh, this is fine. Like, I actually looked around and I looked at different things, and for a while I was planning on getting like a Prusa like Mark 4, Mark 5. I think Mark 5 came out and I was going to get the 4, or the 4 came out and I was going to get the 3, whichever one it was. I was going to get one of those, and then I saw, like, again, in researching 3D printers and stuff, I looked at like the differences between types of 3D printer. So, for example, like a Core XY versus a bed slinger, which, if you don't know what that means, a bed slinger is the one with the big arms because the bed moves around, and then a Core XY is where the only thing it basically does is move up and down on, you know, like the XYZ axis. The main movement is all the nozzle, and that's basically the differences. And I heard that Core XY was better, so I started looking at Core XY printers. And when I was looking at Core XY printers and also looking at videos from people like Frankly Built, videos from like Canuck Creator, sorry, they recommend, and you know, other YouTubers and stuff like that. I'm sorry if I don't remember everybody, but you know, I watched a lot of videos. I didn't just go in and spend all that money. You know, a lot of people, it came up more than once that Bambu Labs were the best current 3D printing manufacturers. And specifically that they're like P1S, because Bambu have like the A1 series, which is the bed slinger. They have the P series, which is the P1P and the P1S. And then they have the X series, so they've got the X1 Carbon, which is their like top range stuff. And the P1S is apparently like the best starting printer out there, according to a lot of people. And that's what I started looking at. So, you know, after looking around at a couple of other things, I realized that it was mainly just something that was going to work right out of the box, and a lot of people had said that, and a lot of people were singing Bambu's praises at the time. So I went with that. And specifically what I ordered and when I ordered it. Just to move on to the next point that I've got a little script in case you can't notice that I'm reading, because I felt like rather than stream of consciousness, this is probably going to be better if I write it down. But yes, so getting on to what I ordered specifically, I got a Bambu Labs P1S printer, and I got that in a bundle with the AMS, the Automatic Multicolor System, ? And I got that as a bundle on sale, and it came with like a free gift of up to £52 or £56. I want to say 56, that comes with it. And I also got some anti-vibration feet for the thing, just to make it less loud, you know. And the total cost came up to £726.24. And that was while it was on sale, and that was including delivery and things like that. So, you know, the best part of £1,000, and that is obviously a real like large amount of money to spend. So once I'd landed on the printer, I didn't buy it straight away. I was like in and ahhing, and I was looking around at other things as well. But when I did land on it, you know, and I decided, then that was it. And I ordered that on the 3rd of January 2025. And whilst I was ordering, I remembered seeing it said ETD of the 17th of January 2025, and that is worth remembering because we'll get back to that in a bit. So yeah, I ordered it on the 3rd, and after ordering, a day after ordering, on the 4th, this is my next point, A day after ordering, on the 4th, I got a confirmation email that a courier or shipping company called eTarget Limited was expecting a package from me and that it was on its way. On the 7th of January, so 3 days later, after that initial email, 4 days after my actual order, I got messages from eTarget and DPD saying that a package was coming and it was going to arrive today. And I was just like, sick. It's been literally a few days and already my printer's arriving. Awesome. This is going to be great. I can just bang it out straight away, get everything going. I'll build the table later because I hadn't built the table at this point. I've only just finished that today, actually. But but yeah, I was just like, yeah, sick. I'll just get it out, set it up, get it going, whatever, print a few stupid things off, and then work on the things that I've been designing a bit more. Anyway, so as I just mentioned, I thought this was the actual printer, and I was pretty disappointed when it wasn't. The actual thing that came was a package, and I have the package here, and it contained the anti-vibration feet, and it contained 2 refill rolls, which we'll get back to why that's important in a second, of PETG-HF, which is the newer filament that Bambu have brought out. They're also basically discontinuing their old PETG, like the regular stuff, in favor of PETG-HF, which is supposed to be faster to print, basically. And yeah, so it came with the anti-vibration feet, 2 rolls of this PETG stuff, and I assumed that the PETG, and I correctly assumed this, was the free gift. Now, as you can see here, PETG HF is from £17.99 a roll, and 2 rolls of that comes up to £35.98, which, in my mind, isn't the best they could do if they're promising up to £20 more than that. But I understand that all of their rolls are, £18. They're £17.99 a roll. And that is, obviously hard to do, because 3 rolls is then 60 quid. It's more than what they've offered. Fair enough, I guess, and also it's a free gift. I guess I can't complain, but they could have maybe just chucked the anti-vibration feet in for free or something like that. I don't know. So I got this box with the Bambu Labs logo on it. Very pretty. And inside it... since moving stuff around, my chair doesn't move now, which is really annoying. But inside it, you can see I've got my anti-vibration feet here. They're just little black rubber feet that just, I imagine, shove into the bottom of the printer when it gets here. For some reason, they're at 8. I'm only ordering 1 printer, so I'm not sure why they're at 8. But whatever, that can go back in there. And then we have the 2 refill rolls of filament, which, if I can get them back, I've opened one. I got one that was grey, and one that was peanut brown, which sounds really nice. Here's the grey stuff. It's a kilo refill roll, as you can see. You can see the little RFID chips on the side and stuff like that, which I will get into in a bit as well. But yeah, that's basically what I got as my free gift with Bambu. With my order of the printer, sorry. So I remembered that when ordering my printer, it said ETD, estimated time of delivery, was the 17th of January. However, at this point, I hadn't heard anything. And with part of my order arriving instantly, within a few days, I was kind of worried because I was like, well, where's the rest of it? So on the 8th of January, because it hadn't really been made entirely clear, I decided to make sure that they hadn't forgotten to send the actual printer or anything, and I sent a support ticket. And I also checked on the My Orders bit on the Bambu website, and you will be able to see here in a second, my order says partially fulfilled here, which is what I saw, and that's fine. So bear in mind that at this point I hadn't heard anything from eTarget, nothing from DPD, nothing from Bambu about when it was going to come. All that I knew was that my order was partially fulfilled, and I didn't know when it was going to be finished. So in my support ticket, I asked, and In fact, I'll show you my support ticket now. So, being a little unsure what to put, I filled out the form that they wanted me to do, country, region, UK, printer model, P1 series, there were no filaments, so issue type, logistics issue, I guessed, and missing items because there was no more appropriate option for it particularly. Issue description. I made an order on the 3rd of January 2025, order number blank, for a P1S, AMS attachment, and some anti-vibration feet. I was given a tracking number and received an email from the courier. I received the package on the 7th of January with the anti-vibration feet and 2 refill rolls of filament. I believe these are the mystery pack that came with my order. I was under the impression that the printer would have been arriving when the other package did, and I have not received any information about the printer or when it may arrive. So would you be able to give me some more information on this? And then at the bottom here I added, also, will the printer come with a reel I can use with filament? This is my first printer, so I don't actually have a reel I can use with the filament that I received. Just to touch on what I noted in there, and bring it back to the refill rolls thing, these are PETGHF, which, you know, is fine. It's a filament that a lot of people use, but it would not be my first choice. I would choose PLA, because it is a lot less unfriendly towards beginners. PETG requires drying before you use it. I don't have a filament dryer because I don't even have a printer yet. So why would I have a filament dryer? I also don't have the spools that this needs to sit on in order to fit onto my printer properly, because I don't have a printer yet. And I feel like, okay, yes, I am complaining about a free gift, which granted I got because I spent so much money anyway. But I also feel like it's kind of an oversight on Bambu's part to send out these like filament reels with their new stuff, which is fair enough, it's their new stuff, they're gonna send it out to people, but without considering, like, have you ever had a printer before? Do you have a reel that you can then use with this? Because Bambu have told me, in response to this ticket, which I'll get into in a minute, the printer doesn't come with a reel. It doesn't come with a spool that I can put this on to then use it. Let alone does it come with, like, a dryer that I can put this in to use it. So, you know, I kind of get shot in the foot by them at that first point. Anyway, I sent this on the 8th, and on the 11th of January, Bambu replied to my support ticket. So, here is Bambu Labs' reply to my support ticket. Hello, customer. After confirmation, the ETD, estimated time of delivery of printer, is around January 17th, 2025. Please check and know it. And the 2 refill rolls of filament is the free gift for printer, so the printer won't deliver with other filaments with a reel. Feel free to let us know if you need further assistance. Best regards, Bambu Lab customer support. And down here they have my order info, which shows that I've been, like, you know, shows that I've paid. It shows I paid through PayPal. It shows how much I paid, stuff like that. And at the bottom they have highlighted, very helpfully, ETD ship around January 17th, 2025. Or 20, which was 5 years ago, so it's probably 2025. Now, ETD ship around January 17th was not something that I was, like, you know, aware of. And then I decided to actually look up what ETD stands for. And according to Google, ETD can stand for estimated time of delivery, as I assumed it would, because, like, why would they tell me the time they're gonna do anything other than get it to me, right? It apparently, and as Bambu Lab uses it, apparently means estimated time of dispatch or departure. So it's the day they're gonna send it. I understand that it's an estimate, and again, like I said, I've realized it can mean either delivery or dispatch, and I realized that Bambu Labs are using it to mean dispatch. The thing about that is that it is currently, at the time of filming this, the 19th. So it's 2 days after the time that they've said that they're most likely going to ship it. And I've heard nothing from Bambu. And I probably won't hear anything tomorrow either. And if I have, I will put that in the description of this video. In fact, as soon as I hear something, I will, with the date, I will put it in the description of this video. So I haven't heard anything from Bambu. I haven't heard anything from eTarget. I haven't heard anything from DPD. And the thing about that like kind of irks me a little bit is that I've spent so much money on this thing, and instantly the day after they were able to tell me, like, there's a package coming to you. We're expecting it. We've been given the label for this package, which is basically what they're saying, is that they've been told that they've got a package to ship and it's coming to them. And they tell you that so that you are then aware that they have been told that. And that was this. So the day after I ordered my printer and everything, they knew that they would be sending me this, and they told me that they were expecting it. And I haven't heard anything since then, or since the 17th, about someone expecting a package for me. Or another package, you know? And maybe I'm just splitting hairs, but I haven't heard anything about the, £600 printer, £700 printer that I bought with my own money that I saved up and worked for, And that kind of, for me, taints it a little bit. However, I understand that, I am being, like, impatient to a degree. I understand that. But hearing nothing is, like, because even if they'd have emailed me straight away, like, okay, we're going to ship it on the 17th, here's what's going to happen, blah, 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 blah. And then, if they couldn't do it for then, if they couldn't do it for Friday, which was the 17th, if they had to wait until Monday, or if they have to wait until next week, and they email me saying, hey, we've had a delay, here's what's happening, like, I would appreciate that. It would be fine. It's not like I'm going to turn around like, why are you fucking delaying my shit? I get it. But not telling me at all, to me, is just kind of annoying. But that's just me. And to sort of round off my personal experience with Bambu, I still don't know when to summarize, I still don't know when my printer's coming. It's annoying that I have been sent filament that I can't just use, though, as well. Like, if my printer had come with that, I wouldn't be able to use it because I'd have to dry it first. So I'd have this printer and I could set it up and everything, and I don't have a filament dryer to use the filament that they've sent me. So where do I get filament? Like, what do I do? And also, like, not only that, but I don't have spools to put on this thing. So I can't even if I could dry it, I wouldn't be able to actually load it into the AMS or onto the printer. I will say that it was something that was concerning me, so I looked it up, because I was like, there's no way that they don't sell, there's no way that they ship this out, and if they don't ask, like, is this your first printer, when they ship that out, there's no way that they don't just sell the spools, like the rolls, on their own. So I looked up what was specifically going to come in the box with the different things that I'd ordered. And whilst they said that the P1S will not come with a reusable spool, the AMS actually does. As you can see here, it comes with 4. It comes with 3 reusable spools and 1 high-temperature reusable spool, which can be used for things like ABS or, like, higher temperature plastics. And it also comes with, obviously, the AMS, some PTFE tubing, cables, and spare filament cutters, which I think are like cigar cutter style squeezy things that you just put the filament through. I don't know, though, because I've never had a printer before. That's the problem. I've never had a printer before, I don't have any of this gear already, and they are treating me like they expect me to do that, to have that. And I get it. It's not something that everybody is going to be experiencing. However, not even bothering to ask, like, have you ever had a 3D printer before? That is something that a lot of companies do now, like, asking if you've had any similar products so that they can gauge, what to send you, just to improve that customer experience. And speaking of customer experience, we are going to move on to the current status of Bambu, which is, at the moment, taking a shit. Within the 3D printing community. So the recent thing is that Bambu have changed, I believe, their, like, terms of use, or their terms of sale, as some people have called it. And it's very anti-consumer. It's very like, it's fucking a lot of people up. And a video that I watched to sort of help me understand it was a video by Lewis Rossman at Rossman Group on YouTube. I'll put a link to that in the description so you guys can find it. Because there are only a couple of videos out about this whole thing now at the minute. And obviously I'm not like a 3D printer channel, so I'm probably not going to get seen by people looking for it, but I've at least got a video on my experience of Bambu now. He breaks it down a bit better than me, and the main twist of it is Bambu are trying to make the experience of using a Bambu printer more exclusive, if that makes any sense. And it probably doesn't, because I feel like I've just used the wrong words. So I will explain it a little better. The changes that Bambu have made essentially cut off third-party slicing software. Just as one of the things. They do more. It does more than this, but I'll get into that in a second. It's essentially cutting off things like Orca Slicer, which, currently I don't have a printer, but I was thinking about using Orca Slicer because it is currently touted as by the same people that tout Bambu's printers as the best. It is touted as the best slicer. And they say that it is, and I've watched, again, multiple videos on that. I haven't downloaded it, I haven't tried it, because I don't have a printer yet, but people have said, Orca Slicer's probably the best one out there at the minute. Give it a go. So that was the one I was planning on using, but they're basically making it so that you have to use, like, Bambu Slicer with Bambu printers. And again, this is essentially locking their users into using Bambu software and systems. And this is all being done in the name of security at the minute. They're saying it's for security, but it seems that these changes pretty much are being made for the sake of, down the line, turning it into more profit for the company. Which is strange, because the company have, again, been... Any new person into 3D printing that is looking for 3D printers, they are being told more than once, Bambu printers are the best ones. Get a Bambu printer. And they're being told that, and then now they can't be told that anymore, because nobody is going to, in their right mind, recommend a printer that they're not even sure if it's going to work in a year, unless you have Bambu stuff. And you only use Bambu. It's like the Apple thing, where you have to use Apple chargers, you have to use Apple replacement parts. It removes things like right to repair. It removes things, well, I don't think this specifically does remove right to repair, but it's along those lines of removing control from the consumer, from the customer, from the user of the product, which is strange, because I've just paid £700. And you're telling me that I can't use that printer the way that I want to use it? That's not right to me. That doesn't sound right, does it? But anyway, pretty much everybody, as I've seen in the 3D printing community, has an issue with this, because being able to use whatever software you want without being held back or restricted is seen as like a huge benefit for users, because of the freedom that allows. And that's right. It is cutting off a lot of the freedom that people use, and people, they have things like print farms where they have 30, 50, 100 printers, and a lot of them will be Bambus by now, because Bambu products were so good, or are so good. Like, their printers are amazing, according to other ones. And this is, again, according to other people. I wouldn't know, I've not got mine yet, but... people are saying, like, oh, these Bambu printers are amazing, I'm going to buy a load of them for my print farm. And print farms are basically just how people do mass production. You've got 50 machines, you can print 50 things at once. I'm going to have one machine, I'm only going to be able to print one thing at once, And a lot of people make money doing that. They run 3D printing businesses by having all of these printers that print on, like a constant run. And they have, like, farming software where it will tell a printer, like, okay, once you've done that, someone only has to just go and take the model out. And even then, you don't even have to always do that. You can get a belt printer where it will, like, just remove the model itself, And then, it becomes a case of start a new print. And then that's how people automate it, you know? The thing about this is that it removes that freedom, because, you know, people use Orca Slicer as a print farm thing, and that's now not going to work for these people that are trying to run companies and businesses, you know? But again, I'm not in that boat, so feel free to look around. It's very easy if you go to like the Reddit communities for 3D printing, or Bambu Slicer, not Bambu, or Bambu Labs rather. If you go to either of those, there are many people talking about this at the minute. And again, in that video that I linked at the bottom from Lewis Rossman, he mentions it, and he goes through some of those comments and says, like, yeah, like, he reads them out and he talks about what this will mean for people like that, and he highlights it. Another change that this is going to mean is that everything that you do with your printer, from like file names, print settings, camera feeds, because the P1S and the X1 Carbon and the P1P, they all have little cameras in them, like webcams that you can check from your phone and stuff. Everything is going to go through Bambu servers, which means that they will be able to see every single thing that you do. And a lot of people are seeing this as, like, you know, just unwarranted data collection, which I think it is as well. Because, like, another one of the things about 3D printing is that, you know, compared to regular printing, you can print off a piece of paper. And everybody at this point, or at least a lot of people, know about the little yellow dots, the reason you're always running around out of yellow ink. If you don't know that, look it up. I'm not explaining it. But, like, one of the benefits of 3D printing is that that sort of tracking doesn't exist. But now everything is going to go through a Bambu Slicer, which is through Bambu server, which causes a massive privacy issue in, like, they're going to be able to see everything that I do. Everything. Which I don't want. Like, I don't want a company that I've just paid £700 to for a pretty good piece of kit to be able to then watch me over my shoulder whilst I use that piece of kit. And don't get me wrong, I'm not going to be printing fucking grenade casings or pipe bombs or that, like, gun model thing that went around a while ago. I'm not going to be printing shit like that. I'm going to be printing dumb stuff. The first thing that I have modeled was the Fangbass logo, which I don't have open right now, but I'll put in, like, a bit of me going over it, or, like, not going over it, but I'll show you it here. That's what I'm saying. That's the first thing I modeled, because, like, I've not done it in a while, and I just wanted to. But, like, why did Bambu need to know that I'm going to print that? You know? Like, I've given them £700. Why do they need to know what I'm doing with the thing that I gave them money for? They've got my money. They can leave me alone. And that's the general consensus, I think. Another thing as well is that there is some speculation about Bambu using this whole change as, like, a stepping stone in order to push for, how shall I say this, like a subscription service. They want, like, people are saying that Bambu are wanting to force everybody to use Bambu systems with their printers and make it so that they can't use Orca, they can't use anything else. And then what they're going to do down the line is make it so that you then have to pay to use Bambu Slicer. It's going to be like, you know, however much it is a year. My editing software will go off of that as a price point. £40 a year, which isn't much, but, like, that's why I use that editing software rather than Adobe's, because that is extortionately, you know, overpriced. But Bambu can set that price at whatever they want. And that is what is pissing people off, because, you know, if they do that, they've then got a bunch of people that, you know, no longer want to use their printers. And here's the thing, they were, like, again, for the past few months, whilst I've been looking into this and looking into 3D printers, they have been, you know, the top dogs of everything. Everybody's been singing their praises, blowing smoke up their arse and sucking it out through their dicks. Like, there is nothing that has said, like, these printers are shit. There is nothing that has said this company is shit until now. And they've completely obliterated all of the good faith that they have had. You know, even going back on it now, that trust is gone. And I can't remember what specifically it was, but it was like Helldivers. That was it. Helldivers did the same thing. One of the biggest games of last year. Everybody played it all the fucking time. They said they weren't going to make it so that you needed like a Sony account or whatever to play, and then they fucking did it, and everybody stopped playing. It dropped off, and it didn't die completely, but it dropped off. Because people didn't want to make a fucking Sony account to play a game that they've never needed a Sony account to fucking play. And that's the issue. That's what it is. People have lost the trust that they had for these companies. And that was the thing as well. Another thing about Helldivers, it was a massive, like, thing that the company was on a consumer level, where they were like, you know, they were talking to the people who played the game, and they were being open and honest, and they had this good relationship between user and programmer, you know, and they just obliterated that connection. And then Bambu are doing the same thing. That's exactly what they're fucking doing. They've had this massive thing where everybody is singing the praises, and then they've just no, we don't want that anymore. We don't want everybody to say that we're the best. We've got the best machines. Everybody's already buying them. They've already been suckered in. Like this idiot, like he bought one, and now we're going to make it so that he's absolutely shafted if he wants to use any other program, just so that he can get into this new hobby. Another video I watched was by Cannot Creator, the guy I mentioned earlier, who was singing praises of like the P1S and stuff like that, and Bambu printers as good starter printers. And again, I'll put a link to this video in the description, but he was saying, you know, about this stuff, like, about these issues. It's similar to how companies, like regular printer companies, as I've already made the connection, you know, they'll force you to buy their specific brand of ink, or the printer doesn't work. Or, like, the cartridge will be half full and it reads it as empty because it's not specifically their ink, or something like that. You know, it's scummy, fucking backhanded dark alley business practice that fucks consumers over massively. Which, you know, again, makes them lose all the trust. It makes consumers lose all the trust that they had in that company as being a big, good company to go to, and, like, being that go-to company. Long story short, I'm getting to the end of this video now. I know I've been, like, rambling for a while. But, like, long story short, it's a slippery slope. 3D printers are more or less tools, you know? So, like, let's say I bought this pen, and I really needed to write, like, an essay or some shit like that. And I needed to pay in order to take the cap off of this pen. The person who sold me this pen is never getting my custom again. You know, I'm not being forced to I will scratch shit into my arm to write it down before I pay someone to use a fucking pen. You know? And that's where it's going. Like, it's where these companies go with it, because you give them an inch of, like, if nobody complained about this that Bambu is doing, then it will end up them being like HP or Epsom or whoever, where it's like, buy our shit or you're fucked. Bambu Labs, their thing, and I mentioned the RFID tags earlier, their filament has RFID tags, so your printer can read what kind of filament you've put in it. And I thought that was awesome, because it tells your printer exactly what settings to do, and your printer just switches to those settings automatically. That's brilliant. It means you don't have to fuck around with anything when it comes to just using filament. It makes it so much easier to have to, like, then it makes it so much faster as well. You know? It makes it so much easier for new people, and it makes it faster for everybody to be able to just slot that in there. The printer's like, I know what this is, let's do this setting, and then it's done, it's ready, it's going. And I don't have to fuck around with anything. Specifically for me, who, again, is new to this, you know, that's awesome. Kanak mentions in his video that he had spoken to someone that looked into the early version of the Bambu software, like the firmware, sorry, and found code that could be used to lock Bambu printers to Bambu filament only using the RFID system. Which means that, you know, like, your printer can track how much filament a thing is going to take, because slicing software lets you do that. It weighs how much filament it's probably going to take, and you know, Your printer can then track how much filament it's put through it. So even if I cut the RFID tag off and glued it to a different spool, another brand of PETG, just so that I could use it again, my printer would be like, he's put 3 kilos of this filament through, and it was only a 1 kilo spool. This isn't the same fucking filament. And then my printer will stop working, and I'm fucked, and I have to, apologize to Bambu gods and fucking buy whatever, new replacement part that the printer blew up while it was realizing that I was trying to trick it, or some shit like that, you know? And it's obviously, a little bit of a logical extreme of it, but it can happen. And it does happen with things like HP. Regular printers, paper printers, do this shit. They force the printer to break unless you use their specific brand of ink and shit like that, so that they can suck as much money out of you as possible, rather than just giving you a working fucking piece of equipment. And I'm worried, genuinely. My honest opinion is that I am worried, and I don't even have my printer yet. I'm worried that I am going to be fucked over by this company whose products I have never had the chance to use. The best thing that anybody can do is just fucking bitch and moan about it, complain. Stop buying their machines, vote with your wallet. I saw someone on Reddit suggesting that people stop putting models onto Bambu's makers. I don't know what it's called. Is it what is it called? Maker World. It's Bambu's version of Thingiverse and things like that, where you can see all of these cool things that people have designed, and then you can download them and you can print them on your 3D printer. That's cool, isn't it? Creators, as far as I'm aware, don't get paid for putting their things on here. Bambu makes money off of it, though, because they draw more people in with it. The bigger this catalogue gets for Bambu, the more they can say, hey, we've got this huge catalogue of designs that you can use as a Bambu user. And that draws more people in, So someone was saying to, stop uploading to that and stuff like that as well, and I understand it. Emailing them, complaining and outlining your concerns with this, privacy concerns, your concerns of being able to use a tool that you've bought. They are taking these tools and they are saying to people, you can't use them unless you use them in the way that we want you to, where we can see what you're doing and where we can control how you do it. It is removing control from customers' hands, and it really should not be happening. I will be personally sending an email and saying that this is an insanely worrying thing, and whether or not they listen to me, it doesn't matter. But the more people, because this is the thing, you can't let them get away with it. If they get away with this, if they don't listen to people and they carry on, I give it 2 or 3 years before they implement this. Maybe not even that long, where you can only use their filament. As it stands at the moment, you can use any filament with any printer. And I have a prediction that within 2 or 3 years, Bambu is going to push for that, if they get away with this. If they don't wind it back, if they don't listen to people, they are going to completely kill every last bit of good faith that they had, and it will be entirely their fault. And I will have no sympathy, and people will laugh at them. But that's the issue, So the front half of this video is my experience with Bambu. The back half is me rambling about this shit, which is genuinely bad for the entire community, especially the Bambu users community. I also saw someone, I don't know if it was true, so please don't take this as truth, take it with a grain of salt. Someone was posting on the 3D printing subreddit saying, hey, I got banned from the Bambu Lab subreddit for 7 days or whatever for posting my concerns about this thing. And I didn't properly look at it, I just popped up on my phone. Again, please don't take my word for it, check it out yourself. But if this is how they're doing it, if they are gonna turn around and silence people detracting them, and they're gonna fucking push for, control over their consumers rather than, giving their customers control, then if that printer does fucking arrive, I'll probably sell it and get a different one. Because, like, I'm not spending that much money just to fucking not be able to do what I want with something. But anyway, that will be it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you didn't, then that would be completely understandable because it's a shit situation. But please do consider reading up on it. Check out the videos from the two people that I mentioned before, and they will be in the description, the links to them. They're the only two videos I could find on this, actually. And it was because one of them was 12 hours ago, and one of them was 3 hours ago. So this is still, like, new stuff at the time of filming. And again, this is probably going to go out, like, tomorrow, the day after, whatever. Because, like, I'm nearly an hour of recording now, and it's ridiculous. So, I'm just going to say thank you, everybody, very much for watching. And I've been Dogbite, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.